Now that we're in shutdown, we have a lot of time to think about all kinds of stuff. And we want to share what we realized about Colombia in this time.
Welcome to How to Expat. My name is Tasha.
And my name is Sam. In today's video, we want to talk about what we realized about Colombia and our specific lifestyle here while having too much time to think about all kinds of stuff. Let's just get into it. The first point is that we realized that we want to have more nature around. So you want to take it away from here?
Well, we always wanted to live near a city, but not in the city, and we're doing that right now, but we're still it's kind of too city-ish, if you understand what I mean. Well, what I'm trying to say is that we would love to be more surrounded by nature, trees, and whatever comes with nature. So that's what we realized by living here 24/7 and not being able to go out. You now realize long term we are craving more nature, more fresh air, less traffic around us. So yeah.
That's true. The next point we have on our little list down here is digital business. So since around 2 months, maybe you already heard because we mentioned it in a couple of videos, we started kind of again a digital agency where we do web design, web development, all of that. So if you have any need for that, just let us know in an email. The email is in the description link down below. We started a new YouTube channel there and stuff that will be down below. But what we realized is just that making money online is so much more efficient. Yeah. So of course we have this YouTube channel and this doesn't really bring in a lot of money. We have some revenue from YouTube itself. We have some revenue after we started the Patreon channel. So if you want to support our channel, we have some exclusive videos on Patreon. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's where you can support content creators. The link to that is also in the description down below. But that's just more or less the basic online income we have from the How to Expat. The other thing is, of course, we did the tours, which we can't do today or right now. And the second thing is that as soon as we wanted to take the business to the next level with a brick and mortar business, let's say, where we thought about having an office for what we're doing here, it always got very, very complicated. And of course, it's just very, very uncomplicated to have an online business, but it's, I think, even a little bit more complicated to have a brick and mortar business in Colombia, where just the regulations around everything is just a lot, because Latin America generally is notorious for its bureaucracy. And then with kind of the working culture here is way, way different. And it's just hard to scale a business here, to really make money, to be able to sustain yourself and whatnot. So that's why we focus now a little bit more on the digital skills we have to market that and be able to help their businesses or people that can use that. So I think that's a point that we realized, or an important point we realized.
Absolutely. The other point is traveling. I love traveling. Sam, not so much. But it's usually worth it anyway. So we realized that we want to see more from Colombia. We've seen some stuff, like some cities and beautiful parts of Colombia, but nearly not as much as Colombia has to offer, right? So we want to see so many more cities, and not even just Colombia, but we were thinking about visiting Mexico, for example, because we heard great stuff about it. So there are so many things that we want to do when we can finally go out again, and traveling is one of those things.
The next point, which would be that we got pretty much a reality check of what life is all about. I think in the current situation, we see a lot of people struggling outside of our house. Sometimes people are just, it sounds weird and it actually is, screaming, so they're shouting that they need help. I usually try to give them something, because I think it takes a lot of courage just to go out and just to have a little group together to ask for help for people on the balconies and stuff. and you see that, and you have to think about what goes on in their lives, that they have, like, they're not street or people living on the street. They're normal people, they're husbands, wives, parents that have no chance to have income right now, and that gives you kind of a real reality check of how good we have it at the moment. We don't, and of course we see that also with the donations we do in Santa Marta. People are really struggling to survive, so struggling for food and just the basic necessities, where we have everything we need and much more on top of that. So that's just a thing that the quarantine brought us to realize once again, and even further, as how good we have it here in our little lives.
Totally agree. So I'm sorry, I can't read it. You can't read it. His handwriting is horrible.
Yeah, maybe that ties into the point I want to make, is also the contrast between.
Contrast was the word.
Yeah, I'm like a doctor. Nobody can read my handwriting unless myself. Anyway, so the contrast in between the cities of Colombia. So we do the donations primarily at the moment in Santa Marta, because we just see that even though people, of course, are struggling here, especially the people in, let's call them the favelas, but even outside, because people can't go to work, or they just have 40%, 60% occupancy in their jobs. But still, the contrast between a city like Medellin and Santa Marta is quite stark. So it's people. It's just a different kind of level of poverty what they have there, and it's just brought us to realize the good side of that, which is diversity in Colombia. But of course, then the uglier side, where it's just one part of the country's not way better off, in a sense. We're struggling here in Medellin too, but just other parts are struggling way more, and I don't even want to know what's going out in let's say in the countryside or anything like that.
Where nobody talks about it.
Yeah, exactly, where nobody talks about it. So I think, do you want to add something there?
No, I guess we talked about everything, and as you mentioned during the video, we have the Patreon account, and if you want to support us to make more videos to help you guys, keep you updated about everything that's going on, and the visa and whatever it is, so you can find the link in the description down below. And thank you in advance, and see you in the next video.